Making a difference. It's at the heart of Southern Inspirations. I believe we all have opportunities every day to make a difference. In our homes, our local communities, everywhere we live, work, and play. Let's dive right into today's Making a Difference conversation. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle Hill with Southern Inspirations, and I'm so excited to introduce today's guest, Gillian Curry-Williams. Jillian is the founder of the Fabric of Hope Foundation, coming to us, this is like so exciting for me to say, from the Bahamas. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. It's truly a pleasure to be here.
Well, I cannot wait to learn more about the organization. I'm excited to introduce you to the Southern Inspirations audience, but I'm more excited about the beautiful, wonderful work that you are doing there in the Bahamas as well as Florida to support individuals with cancer and their families. And so again, just thank you for being here. And thank you for your heart for doing this. I absolutely love how you have taken your talents as a fashion designer and turned that not only into an incredible, thriving business, but you're using that to make a difference in the lives of so many. And wow, that's incredible. It's incredible. So,
thank you.
About all the things that we want to know. But before we dive into that, would you tell folks a little bit about yourself? I mentioned you're a fashion designer, but give us a brief bio of yourself, and we'll dive into talking about the organization.
Well, like you said, my name is Gillian Curry-Williams. I am a fashion designer. I am a wife. I'm the mother of two. I am a grandmother. And that's me. I have two dogs that I love.
Here's no way you can be a grandmother. Oh my goodness. Well, I think you're in the skincare business too, and it is being a designer. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Oh,
but
goodness.
I've been designing for about 30 plus years now. Designing has been my passion from like I was in high school. I didn't have to wonder, some people in high school, they don't know what they want to do. I knew I wanted to be a fashion designer. My mom was like, oh, you can be a doctor, you can be this, no, I want to be a fashion designer.
Well, gosh, I love that. The fact that you knew from such an early age and you had that influence, of course, from your family, but you blossomed. So tell us where you went to school, because in reading through your detailed bio, I know you've got some very impressive education behind you and design work behind you.
I went to the Academy of Design in Atlanta. And then about 10 years ago, because time is going so fast, 10 years ago, I went back to school because I knew that there was something. Well, first of all, I was going through a divorce, and I was like, my creative juices had like left me.
Yeah.
And I was like, there has to be something else. There has to be something else. I need to go and come back and, redo this thing. So I was able to get a scholarship and I went back to school. I was happy I went because there was so much I learned. At my age, I was afraid because the students in the class were like my children. Are they going to be better than me? Like I've been at this, they can't beat me, And I graduated actually the valedictorian of the fashion program. I went back to school in Toronto and came back and rebranded, and everything is like exploded in a different direction after that.
Wow, that is so impressive as well. I too was a non-traditional student. I finished my bachelor's, but then I stayed out 10 years before I went back to finish my master's, and I was a little bit older in the class as well. But golly, so impressive. Well, I want to talk about, of course, the foundation. But before we get into that, it's important to note the business, Ramilda Rose, and I want folks to get a good close up of the fabric, and if we can talk about the importance of the fabric and what the colors represent. And I'm going to actually take myself out of the stream because I want you to be full screen. I've got the logo, of course, there at the top, but I think folks can see you better. I'm not sure if that's a jacket or a dress or whatever it is.
It's a jacket.
Okay, so I'm going to remove myself and just have you full screen for a couple of seconds. Would you just kind of tell us the significance, because you designed this fabric? And so
Yes, I did.
I would love to just start and hear that whole story.
Well, my father, I'm just trying to fix my screen so you can see what I have on. When we found out that my father had cancer, I was like, when I went with him to treatments, I was like, God, there has to be something that I can do as a fashion designer. And I kind of did my hand like this with God, because I said, I'm only a fashion designer, but there has to be something that I can do as a fashion designer to assist these persons, because they were so dreary. They looked downtrodden. It was like, like I've never had cancer. My father had cancer. I had an aunt that had cancer. So I wasn't able to feel everything that they were feeling, but I saw the looks on their faces. And God gave me two things. He said, create a print that's made up of some of the colors associated with the various types of cancer. And this is the print that I have on now. We call it the Fabric of Hope. And he said to give them makeovers. So I got on board with that and reached out to some companies. I looked at all the colors of the various cancers to see what each color was. And I put together a collage of colors that I thought would work well together. And so we have these colors. We have pink, we have the green. Well, of course, pink represents breast cancer. And we have yellow, we have the blue. When I first came up with this fabric, we did it with the white background. The background was in the blue. So the fabric comes in the white and the blue background. We expanded it to the blue after my father got cancer, because my father had rectal cancer, and rectal cancer is the blue. So that's the blue background. But we came together with all these colors, and then we dubbed it the Fabric of Hope, because we were like, it's so beautiful. Men can wear it, women can wear it, and it makes you feel happy. And everywhere I go, people are like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, So that's how the fabric came about. So we have bow ties for men. We have an accessory line with the fabric now that has the print on it. And we really just want persons to know that this fabric is out there and what it represents. You can use it for anything, it's just a happy fabric.
It absolutely is. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's just so special. Not only is it gorgeous, but knowing that there's significance behind each of the colors just makes you feel even better about wearing it.
And one thing I have to say, sorry, I have to say, let me see if I can find it on my jacket. We thought about the caregiver. I can't find, I have to stand up so you can see it.
Okay. Let me,
where is it? There's a purple, I can't find it. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's right here in the line of the jacket. This color, this flower right here represents the caregiver.
The caregiver.
The caregiver is so important to the life of a person with cancer. If you don't have that caregiver, it's like you cannot survive. You need that one, even if it's just one, that one positive person that will be your cheerleader. That will be the person that if you just need to pick up the phone and call, they could call. If you need someone to go with you to the doctor, if you need encouragement, that caregiver is so important. So we made sure that we represented the caregiver on this fabric as well.
Wow, I love that. You are so right. I have had conversations with some local nonprofits here in Arkansas who also support cancer patients and their families. Talked about that and the importance of a caregiver. So I love that you included that color. And so the proceeds, Jillian, from the sale of the fabric and the accessories and all these things that you have created go directly into the foundation, correct?
Could they go directly into the foundation because every day there's somebody that we're helping.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Tell us then, you mentioned your father was diagnosed with rectal cancer. I know that was in 2015, but walk us through a little history of the foundation itself and when you founded it, and then also the specific services that you provide. And I mentioned at the top, I hope I said that correctly, you do have a location in Florida as well as the Bahamas, right?
Well, the Florida location, because of COVID, we were hindered in doing what we wanted to do. We were working along with another organization. So we're looking forward, actually, we have a meeting tomorrow. We're looking forward to getting that up and running the way we want that to run, because that's so important, because there's so many persons that need assistance, and we really want to reach as many persons as we could. But I founded the foundation in 2016. First, when I started this was under Remilda rules. And because it got so huge, in particular with us doing the shows as well, because we do the shows where we give them makeovers. I make their evening dresses. We buy their shoes, give them makeup, get their hair done, and they get to keep all this stuff. Then we make a monetary donation to them. They strut their stuff on the stage, and it just does something for them. And we do male and female. When we first started the show, we only had 5 persons. And last year, our show was 15 persons, but 2 of them passed away before the show. But even though they passed away, we still made their dresses that they were buried in. So we still did something so that they were able to wear, a garment made especially for them. But we started the foundation in 2016 because I had to then separate because it was getting like large. People were reaching out from every direction, and I wanted to make sure that we were doing everything straight and right and by the book. And so it's been separated. We pay rent for persons, we pay light, we pay water, we provide them with food. We had a young man the other day because, of COVID and schools are by Zoom or whatever platforms they're using. He needed a tablet. We provided him with a tablet. Um, so there's so many different things we did. We had vouchers we had made done up, and we were giving out vouchers to assist persons with food. We even have the insurance companies that call us and ask us if we could assist persons, with
Wow.
medical, with their medicine. So we do that as well. We do as much as we could. If they need to go to the doctor and they can't get there, we have persons on board who are available to take them, so that they're always somebody there with them, and they're not, going on this road alone.
My goodness. I'm almost speechless because just the weight of of an individual who's diagnosed with cancer is so heavy, not just from the doctor appointments and the medical part of it, but as you mentioned, everyday expenses and emotions and all of these things that go into it. And so the fact that you are there to provide those services and fill those gaps is just absolutely such a blessing. It's just such a blessing. Um, what are some ways, Jillian, that people can help? People watching now, whether you're watching us live or on the replay. I'm going to guess here that you can always use donations, but are there specific things and ways that folks can help?
Well, they can help by purchasing maybe an accessory. We have the tote bags, we have the suitcases, we have espadrilles, we have the belt, we got flip-flops, we have the wallet. So they can help with purchasing the accessory. They can purchase a garment because we have jackets made up that they can purchase. They can purchase the fabric of hope in a dress, or they can just purchase the fabric because they want to have something made themselves.
Right.
They can make a donation. So doing those things helps us to be able to help, to help others. So any way they want to help, even if they want to say, I can call someone every day, or I can call someone, every other day, just a call, just an encouraging word, all of that helps us to be able to help them.
Right. Remind me where folks can shop for your accessories and
the accessories are on www.remildarosedesigns.net. And when you go to there, that will take you into the Fabric of Hope.
There we go. I want to leave that up there for a few minutes because I do want folks to have an opportunity to visit that and see all the different sorts of things. And the accessory line is fairly new, right?
The accessory line is new. That came out 3 months ago. And I was so excited that I found a company that could take the print and put our print on the pieces. The bags are all Napa leather. The carry-on is TSA approved. It's wonderful. I traveled with it the other day, and everybody was like, "Where'd you get your luggage?" And when I travel with it, I put my jacket on, I put my espadrilles, I put everything on.
You're a walking fabric of hope from head to toe, right?
Yeah, I had to go with one of
you can find it.
I had to go with one of the ladies to Cleveland Clinic, and I wore my jacket. And, we have to wear masks. So I have masks made out of the Fabric of Hope as well. And everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get your jacket? Where'd you get your mask? Where'd you get this? Where'd you get the other?" So, and they did reach out to me and they did purchase. I was so happy that I look here. I'm the marketing, okay? I wear it, they see it, and they like it. So.
Hey, I don't know if you can get much better than that. Well, I can't wait. I've looked briefly at your website as we were, of course, preparing for this, but I can't wait to get back on there and explore. My wheels are already turning about who do I need to purchase a gift for that would just love this, and I've already thought of someone. I can't wait to explore that even more. Is there anything else, Jillian, that you would like folks to know, or anything else you'd like to share?
Well, I would just like folks to know that persons need caregivers. I can't talk about that enough because, my mom always says to me, she says, you don't think you need someone to talk to? Like, I'm like, she said, because you're taking all of us. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Once I talk to them, I feel so good. It's so good too. Like, let me just share a story of a lady that we're dealing with now. She found out she had cancer when she was 24. They, for some reason, made her wait a year. I don't know why. They told her to wait a year when she found the lump. Because, they had this thing where you don't have to get a mammogram until you're a certain age and all that. But I feel they shouldn't have done it because her grandmother passed away from cancer and her aunt passed away from cancer. But a year later, she had the breast taken off, both of them. And then 6 months later, a lump grew back. And that lump grew and grew, and I watched it grow because she would send me pictures every month. And then it literally exploded. It exploded. And I was like, God, what are you doing? This lady is so young. Why? So I tried to get her the best help I possibly could. I reached out to the insurance company because, she had insurance. But when she got the insurance, they were like, this was pre-existing, so we can't do anything. Well, I took every picture that she had sent me and I wrote an email to the insurance company and I explained to them what was happening. 2 days later, they okayed for her to go away. I was like, God, I thank you. Yeah. Wow. So she went away, got a second opinion. The doctors at Cleveland Clinic told her what they suggested. We came back to Nassau. The doctors here took a while to do what they needed to do. So when she finally got the treatment, it was too late. We did a PET scan 2 weeks ago, and I picked up the report, and the report was not good. It's the cancer spread from the top of her head to the soles of her feet. And I sat to my sewing machine and I started to cry because I'm like, God, my daughter is 36. My son is 32. She is now 30. I'm like, she could be my child. Mm-hmm. And I heard God so clear, give her a makeover because she was supposed to be in our show last year, but she couldn't because she was sick. So I still had her fabric. I still had her shoes. I had her jewelry and everything. So I called her. I didn't tell her the report was bad then. I called her and I said, we're going to do photos on Sunday. I'm going to make you a dress and we're going to get your son sorted out with clothes. And so I reached out to someone to provide her with a wig. And the lady was so nice. She said, yes, brought me in the store, had me pick what I thought was best. We got a photographer. We got someone to do her makeup. And there was this particular restaurant here that she wanted to go to. I reached out to them. And they actually closed their store for us to come in and have dinner. They closed the store because they didn't want to compromise her with taking her mask off and the person's being around.
Right.
And so she did a photo shoot. She was so happy, even though she was in pain. She was so happy. And I was like, I just, I was happy I was able to put that together for her. Because 3 days later was when I had to tell her that the cancer was spread. And she was like, Miss Williams, please don't leave me. I said, I'm not going anywhere. I've been here for 2 years now. I'm not going anywhere. I said, I just won't leave you now. So she needs more support now than anything. And I'm there to be able to give her that support. We're actually now working to try to get her son. My son lives in Dallas. So my son is coming home for Christmas. So I want to send her son a couple of days before my son comes so he could have some free time because he has been his mom's caregiver at home.
Oh, wow.
And so he just needs a break. So we're trying to sort that out to get him a ticket to be able to go and come back with my son. But I just want people to be able to reach out to people and help. Like I said, even if you just pick up the phone and call and give them an encouraging word, you don't know how much and how far that encouraging word goes.
Right.
So just pick up the phone, even if you can't afford to buy anything, pick up the phone. If you can go and sit with them and talk with them, just do that. Just do something to help someone. There's a song that says, if I could help somebody, then my living would not have been in vain. Let's just help. Let's just help.
I like even a kind word, a smile, a touch. Like you said, that phone call, you never know when one small, simple act like that can make all the difference in someone's life.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. Wow, this has been wonderful. I knew it would. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us, for teaching us a few things, and for letting us know about the organization. I look forward to staying in touch with you, to hearing about all the wonderful things you're doing. I don't want this to be the only time we do this. I want to continue to help get the word out, my audience and beyond. And like you said, there's so many people out there that need the support, and we never know who might be watching now, whether it's live or replay, that might know someone with cancer that needs that touch, that needs some support. And I just hope that folks are encouraged and inspired to go make a difference in those situations. So, well, Jillian, thank you again. I appreciate you so much. And thank you to everyone, too, who is watching, for your continued support of Southern Inspirations. And like I always say, if you are a nonprofit leader or know of a nonprofit leader who would like to do this, let me know, because I'm always looking for good stories and good nonprofits to continue to bring awareness to and help. So, all righty. Well, everyone have a wonderful afternoon, and
thank you.
I'll see you soon. Thanks again, Jillian.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.